They say twins share a soul, that when one cries, the other tastes salt. When one's heart stops, the other should feel the silence. But when my brother Leo took his last breath in a cold dorm room at Oak Ridge University, I felt nothing but a sudden, terrifying cold. I was 200 miles away, studying law, while he was being broken into pieces by people who thought their last names made them gods. My name is Elias. I am the successful twin, the one who made it out. But today I'm not here to talk about my career. I'm here to tell you how I became a ghost to hunt the monsters who killed my brother. And how, in the middle of my war for justice, I had to watch the woman I loved walk away because I had become a monster myself. Leo was the artist. He saw colors where I saw statues. He got a scholarship to Oak Ridge's prestigious architecture program. He was so proud. But Oak Ridge has a legacy club. 4 boys, Julian, Marcus, Trent, and Simon. Their fathers owned the banks, the local police, and the very ground the university sat on. They didn't like Leo's charity student smell. It started small, missing supplies, salt in his coffee. Then it became the rituals. They made him stand in the freezing fountain for hours while they recorded him. They leaked a deep fake video of him to the entire campus. They isolated him until he was a ghost in his own skin. Leo called me one night. He sounded thin, like paper. He said, "Elias, I think I'm disappearing." I told him to be strong. I told him it was just college. That was my first mistake. 2 weeks later, the dean called. "A tragic accident," he said. "Mental health is a priority," he lied. I didn't go to the funeral as myself. I shaved my beard. I wore Leo's old glasses. I dropped out of my law program and used my inheritance to enroll in Oak Ridge. I didn't want a lawsuit. I wanted a confession. But there was Sarah. Sarah was the only person who had been kind to Leo, and she was the only person who saw through me. We started a relationship under the shadow of my lie. I loved her, but every time she kissed me, I felt like I was stealing a moment that belonged to a dead man. One night, she found the wall. The photos of Julian and his friends, the maps of their dorms, the recording devices. She looked at me, not with fear, but with a deep, aching pity. "Elias," she said, "you're not seeking justice, you're seeking a grave, and I can't be the one to bury you." She walked out that night, no screaming, just the sound of a door closing that felt louder than a gunshot. That was the moment I realized, to save Leo's memory, I was killing my own future. The Gala of Legacy was the night it all ended. Julian was being awarded the Student of the Year. I didn't use a gun, I used their own vanity. I had spent months hacking their private Legacy group chat. I found the original unedited video of the night they pushed Leo too far. The night they physically forced him into that dorm room and locked the door while he screamed for help. As Julian stood on that stage, the projector behind him didn't show his portfolio. It showed his face, distorted with cruelty. It showed the texts. "If he dies, my dad will just buy a new wing for the library. Don't worry." The silence in that ballroom was the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. They tried to run, but I'd already sent the encrypted files to the state attorney, the one person Julian's father couldn't buy. Julian and Marcus are serving 12 years for involuntary manslaughter and conspiracy. The Legacy Club is a stain on the school's history now. I visited Leo's grave yesterday. I told him he could finally rest. But as I sat there, I realized I was still alone. I called Sarah, not to ask her back, I haven't earned that yet, but to tell her she was right. Walking out on me was the only way she could stay whole. If you're listening to this and you're being bullied, or you're watching someone else be broken, don't be a ghost. Speak loudly before the silence becomes permanent. And if you're the one seeking revenge, remember that a fire built to consume your enemies will eventually need your own life as fuel. I survived, but the Elias who started this story is gone. And maybe, finally, that's okay.